to episode 44 of the Hodgepodge podcast. I'm your host, Doug.
I'm 38. And talk about a hodgepodge of topics from movies, music, TV, and other pop culture events.
And today we'll be discussing a bunch of movies, including Lucy, A Most Wanted Man, and Wish I Was Here. You can reach us at the hodgepodgepodcast@gmail.com or over on our website, thehodgepodgepodcast.com, or find us on YouTube and iTunes and subscribe. And we just got back from the third part of our triple header this weekend. Dirty A and I took in 3 movies, and we're going to talk about each of them, and we're also going to talk about a couple other movies we saw independently.
We do it all for you, folks.
Yes, we do it all for you. Sure.
No enjoyment out of it.
No, we don't.
Well, in this particular case,
well, yeah.
Little enjoyment.
Before we get to the movies, though, if you're listening and you've been under a rock, Comic-Con's this weekend. As we're recording this. Yeah, it's already started as we're recording this. And right before we started recording this, we just saw Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which looks great.
Yeah.
Costume looks good, I think.
Yeah, it really does. They went in the right direction.
It's very warrior-like, but it still evokes the classic Wonder Woman costume, so it looks good. You would have thought with Zack Snyder it would have been like real sucker punched up and like, I'm surprised she's not wearing like a schoolgirl uniform going,
right.
Before, but they really they did a good job with it.
It fits in the realm of the existing movies that they're doing and the existing costume styles that they've been working with.
DC has tended to, I guess they're taking a page from Nolan's Dark Knight movies, where everything is a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
But then you've got Superman and Wonder Woman who are going to have superpowers, clearly. So it's going to be interesting to see. Apparently they showed some footage. It sounds like it's a lot like The Dark Knight Returns. They're going to have some scene that's an homage to that, I guess. Can't have the same ending, though, because Ben Affleck kind of needs to be around. So, but it's exciting. It's interesting. I was hoping that they were going to show what Wonder Woman finally looked like at Comic-Con, and they did. So that's cool.
Also at Comic-Con this week, speaking of Nolan,
he
and McConaughey kind of had an impromptu visit.
Yeah,
and
for Interstellar.
Showed off some new footage for Interstellar, which
sounds great.
I'm sure was fucking awesome. I can't wait for November. But we saw a trailer for that leading into the first movie we're going to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good segue. Good job.
See what I did there?
Good job.
Right.
You're learning. The first movie we saw, that's not the first movie we saw, but the first movie we're going to talk about is probably going to win the weekend at the box office. And that is Luc Besson's Lucy. Starring Scarlett Johansson.
She is a psychiatrist who charges 5 cents for help. And she also likes to yank footballs outside of unsuspecting players.
Of unsuspecting bald children. Yeah. You were watching the wrong Lucy.
Oh. That would have probably been a better movie.
It definitely would have been a better movie. Here's 5 good reasons. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So this is Luc Besson's most recent turd in a string of notable turds.
I tried to warn you.
I like more of his stuff than you do, but he's way hit or miss. And this is starring Scarlett Johansson as Lucy.
Yeah.
And the plot of this one basically goes.
There's a plot.
Yeah. The air quote plot of this one basically goes. Lucy is just normal gal who's.
She's like a party gal. Party gal. School.
She's got exams, and anyway, through some circumstances, she ends up smuggling drugs for a Korean cartel, a new drug that they're trying to put out in the market. And the way they had her smuggle it was by inserting it into her body cavity. They opened up her chest, basically, inserted it in, and then said. In her stomach and said, "Hey, you're going to go take a trip and distribute this drug to in Europe." Well, the drug pouch burst in her body, releasing there are reasons, but
but my question is this:
yes,
they opened the one. They had 4 pouches. They opened the one pouch to test it. Did they put the open pouch in her?
Well, there were a lot of guys, so who knows, right? Remember, there was a series of.
There was 4 guys.
Yeah, 4.
And
guys.
there were 4 pouches.
Right.
So they opened one to test it.
I'm sure they Scotch taped it back up or something, man.
Whatever.
Anyway.
It burst in my stomach. No, they already opened it.
This pouch that they put in her burst in her stomach, releasing this experimental drug
narcotic
into her system, and with crazy effects. She basically starts slowly gaining more access to her cerebral capacity. From there, the plot goes, she's trying to... I don't really know what she's trying to do. I mean, she goes on sort of... Well, she's trying to get the rest of the drugs because she feels she needs them to... I don't really know, stay alive?
I don't know. This movie made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it really didn't. The plot kind of falls apart at that point because we don't really know what the motivation is at that point. She's part revenge, but it's not really revenge because she's kind of moved past that in her, her vast knowledge of herself. So anyway, that's the general plot of this movie. If it seems like I don't want to talk about this or I'm a little weary about plot lines, it's because
there really is no plot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's basically just her manipulating stuff. Basically, she slowly becomes an X-Man, basically. She slowly becomes Phoenix.
Yeah.
To
that's fair.
I mean, to tie it to something that people would know in pop culture. My biggest problem with the movie, among many, was that the whole premise, and I know you didn't have as big a problem with this, but the whole premise is based on the myth that humans only use 10% of their brains. And that's how this gets launched, that she's building towards using 100% of her brain. But it's a myth. So you're already, the premise, be it science fiction or not, it's already flawed to begin with. You have to have a sound premise to begin. And it reminded me of, what was the movie I was telling you about that reminded me? Oh, it was the Angels and Demons. It was a Dan Brown film based on the book Angels and Demons.
The antimatter.
Right. And in the book, which was published, I think, in 96 or something like that, there was a bomb that was an antimatter bomb. And at the time, people thought that if antimatter came into contact with matter, there would be a huge explosion. Right. Huge explosion. Yeah. Well, the problem with the movie version that Ron Howard did is that the Hadron Collider was running, created antimatter. Somebody left it somewhere over the Christmas break.
Well, that's not in the movie. This is
no.
Life.
Yeah, this is real life. The antimatter fell out of the containment and nothing happened. It just dissipated.
Right. And this was literally like months before the movie came out.
Months before the movie came out. So then, once you take that knowledge that people have in real life, and then you say, "Oh, well, for this movie, that it makes a bomb," that's not true. You're just sitting there, so it robs all tension out of the movie.
See, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that because a movie exists in its own bubble or can exist in its own bubble. And I'm fine with, especially with this is way farther or outreach than that. This is sci-fi type of shit. And I can put that in its own vacuum and be okay with it for the most part. The problem I have with the movie is that it ceases to follow its own rules within the movie.
Right.
And that's my biggest problem, is it'll say one thing and then another thing happens. And it leads you to believe that this will happen, but X will happen, but Y happens.
Right.
And it doesn't follow its own rules within the movie. And that's my biggest problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's two scenes in particular that we talked about after the movie. There's a scene in the trailer that everybody has seen where these guys the cops come for her in a hospital, and she just waves her hand and they fall asleep.
Right.
Except for the one guy. Well, the problem is that happens fairly early in the movie. And then there's a scene later where these guys come in and they're threatening to kill her. And she just the scene plays out so slowly and so ridiculously when you're sitting there screaming at the screen. We know you can just put them to sleep. Just do it.
Yeah. Why are you being why would you choose to be creative? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Your goal is to get from A to B.
Right.
Just do it the quickest way possible.
So the movie becomes in itself a very masturbatory. Yeah. Exercise.
It's eye candy type of stuff.
It seems like Bassan had a bunch of interesting scenes in his head that he just wanted to string together, and he said, "Here's this turd." And
he basically came up with some quasi script that allowed him to throw these things together.
There's a lot of heavy-handed symbolism. You can't even call it symbolism because it's in your face so much. It's just really...
Oh yeah, it's not symbolism because it's not like in the background. It's all of a sudden just thrown on the screen. And a lot of animals mating and
hunting.
Yeah, it's just weird shit at the beginning. Very over stylized movie for what it should be.
Yeah.
And I think we forgot to mention Morgan Freeman is in this as Mr. Exposition,
as his character from Transcendence.
Right. He's basically serves as the narrative exposition to help the audience along in figuring out, what's happening to Lucy.
And Min-Sik Choi from Old Boy, the original Old Boy.
The original.
He's
yes.
also in this as the crime boss who puts the drugs into Lucy.
Yeah. He ends up locking himself in a room for 20 years. Wait. No,
so it's, Lucy is just, I don't know.
And like you mentioned, Scarlett Johansson does fine.
Yeah, she does
serves
fine.
a fine purpose in this movie.
Some of her acting's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not her fault by any means.
No.
But I would also say you could, for what this movie is, you could take anyone and put them in that role, and they're going to be okay.
Well, I mean, it's like I said. She's
the moneymaker here. But.
Right. It's like I said at the end. This movie is almost like Under the Skin. Her and Transcendence all had a baby, and it made Lucy, and that's what this movie basically is.
Ugly baby.
It is an ugly baby. Well, she's hot, but
right. I apologize, Scarlett Johansson. I was not referring to you specifically. More this turd of a movie that Besson has put out. I don't know how this is at 60% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I really don't either. It's not good.
That's actually very surprising to me.
Yeah.
That more critics were liking this. They must have really doing some money at him or something. I don't know, because I can't imagine a real critic giving much weight to this movie.
It's like you said it after we saw the movie. Like, you couldn't believe it was at 60%, whereas Transcendence was so low.
Well, right, yeah,
because to me,
they're almost the exact same movie. To me, this just gores it up a little more.
To me, Transcendence had better ideas than this did. It's just that Transcendence was boring as fuck.
Yeah, this has action to go along.
Mindless, pointless action.
Yeah, you don't know where it's really going anyway, and
basically, what happens is when your brain approaches 100% of capacity, you like to shoot people a lot. That's what happens. That's the moral of the story.
Put them to sleep, and you start disintegrating and reintegrating.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The moral of the story is, don't date a guy with red sunglasses who looks like a greasy pimp. That's basically what the moral of the story is. Don't do that.
But I don't think there's a whole lot more to talk about here. No. I mean, it is what it is.
Skip it. Maybe watch on cable when it comes out, but it's not worth going to the theater for.
The only saving grace is that it is only an hour and a half, even though it feels longer. But
God
knows what it would be like if it was longer.
Good God. It would be Transcendence.
So anyway,
Johnny Depp joke.
Besson's done it again on this one. I was kind of looking forward to this, and it let me down.
Yeah, told you. Made a great movie 20 years ago, and he's been coasting ever since.
Yeah, but what a movie that was.
Yeah. Next up is a movie that we thoroughly enjoyed. This is a movie that I think it's limited release, I guess, but it's kind of wide. It's like in that weird...
Widely limited release.
It is a film by Anton Corbijn, famed photographer and video director, who did Control and also did...
Tinker Tailor.
No, he did The American.
The American? He did do Tinker Tailor.
No, he did not.
Damn it.
You're messing up my intro.
Yeah, you edit that out, then. I'm sorry.
No, we're leaving it. You're only using 2% of your brain.
That's 1% more than I normally use.
Yeah, it's directed by Anton Corbijn, who did Control and The American with George Clooney. And the movie is A Most Wanted Man, which is based on a novel by John le Carré, who wrote Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
There it is.
This movie is significant, not just because it's a great movie, but it's because it's the last completed film that Philip Seymour Hoffman did.
What a movie to...
And what a movie! Yeah, we saw God's Pocket a couple months ago, and we liked it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
It's good, but
But this is a movie that
is the one
he deserved to go out on. It's a spy thriller, but if you saw Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, you know this is not like a James Bond or Jason Bourne type movie. It's a real potboiler spy.
Yeah, this
spy
is more
movie.
of your thinking man spy movie.
Exactly. Now, A Most Wanted Man is not as labyrinthine as, if I'm saying that word correctly, labyrinthine.
I don't know that that's a word at all, but we're going to use it as a word.
Labyrinthine. It's not as intricate as Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, you had to watch every single second of that movie and pay attention, like with total concentration.
You turn your head for if you drop your concentration and start thinking about something else for 3 seconds, you're going to come back in the movie going, wait, what?
And that was a great movie. It was a great movie.
No, it's wonderful. It's like we described this one. I think we were talking about. This is more linear.
Yeah, this is more linear. It's much more straightforward.
Yeah.
Basically, it's about. It focuses on Hoffman's character. Hoffman plays Gunther Bachmann, a German spy who and he does great with the accent and everything like that.
He's like the German version of the CIA kind of.
Yeah, sort of. He's a German spy who's in charge of this team that basically makes potential Arab enemies into allies.
Yeah, they're trying to gain assets.
Right. He's trying to gain intelligence assets to infiltrate the Islamic world so they can ferret out large, big-time terrorists and capture them.
Yeah, they're the whole goal here is to not worry about the small fish, but to work their way up.
Work their way up the chain. Right.
Yeah, get the master.
He is focusing on this charitable guy. I think he was a doctor, wasn't he? Abdullah?
Yes, Abdullah.
Yeah. Abdullah. He's focusing on him, but this other guy comes across his radar who is a fugitive, and his name is Issa Karpov, and he's like half Chechen, half Russian, and
he has fled into Germany and is kind of on the run.
Right. And it's really it's a fascinating movie to watch Gunther work and how he manipulates things to get people into his employ.
Yeah.
You've got Willem Dafoe, who is the head of this kind of shady,
international bank.
Yeah, the kind of this shady bank.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams is basically like a
how does he describe her? He says she's a lawyer, but he describes her as a social worker for terrorists.
Right, exactly. Yeah, she's a very, very left-wing lawyer who is
she's not a bad person, by the way.
No. She works for an organization that
an Amnesty
International type thing. Yeah. So I liked Rachel McAdams in this movie. I like her in everything.
She was good.
The only problem is I did not know where that accent was from. I was like, where are you from? And then he has people in his team. Daniel Bruhl is in this very, very understated role for him.
Yeah,
considering how big he's kind of blown up lately.
He was hardly in it at all. Robin
Wright's in it. She's really great. Good. And also, one of my favorite characters in the movie was Nina Hoss. She plays Erna Frey, who's basically Gunther's right-hand lady.
Yeah.
And possible potential lover, maybe, possibly, we don't know. Who knows?
Sounds like maybe when they get bored.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how the spy thing goes.
Yeah.
What did Pierce Brosnan say in the trailer for that movie, November Man?
Love
has no place in this world. So basically what happens is that the movie follows Gunther as he tries to dodge obstacles in his own government
and others
as he's trying to acquire this guy Karpov as an asset, basically.
Yeah, he's trying to acquire Karpov to get to Abdullah, who is his main target as an asset.
Right.
But that's where the kind of the crux of the movie comes in is whereas he sees Abdullah as an asset,
others see him as
the bigger threat.
Right.
So they want to neutralize him, whereas Gunther wants to use him.
Right.
I mean, the movie is fantastic.
It's fantastic.
It's as slow moving as it is. It's thrilling.
Mm-hmm.
The scene, the pickup scene towards the end, just kind of has you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. The screenplay is really, really tight. It's really well done. It's by Andrew Bovell, and Corbin has come a long way as a film director, and he does a great job with this one. It's just a really, really well made movie.
Yeah. And this is Hoffman's movie.
Yeah. He is
so good.
It made me angry watching this because I would have loved to have seen, and I don't know if Le Carre wrote other books with this character in it, but I would have loved to have seen another Gunther Bachmann
he
movie.
turned this character into something just
he was
amazing.
Fantastic. He was so good.
Yeah, he's got this dry wit and sarcasm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really, really good. In some scenes, he looks so pale. He looks like a fatter Jim Gaffigan. Beyond the pale.
Beyond the pale.
But it's really, really great. We don't want to give a lot away. We probably already gave away a little too much of the plot.
Probably. I like to do that, but I can't help myself. It's so fun to talk about.
It's really worth seeing. Mainly for the story, there's a couple twists in there that you're like, what? But you want to watch it just mainly for the performances, too. Everybody does a great job here.
This is one of those spy movies where after you finish, you're like, this is probably exactly how this really goes down. I mean, this is how this is.
And Le Carre, from what I understand about him, he was in the British Secret Service and all that kind of stuff. So he knows this world and everything like that.
Right.
It's not like Robert Ludlum, who wrote the Bourne books, which are great books. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but he was basically making it up as he went.
Sure.
He had no ties to
No
that
base,
world at all.
no base
Right.
knowledge of what it
Right,
was.
but Lecare was basically he was in that world, so he knows this stuff. It's if you saw Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and you thought it was kind of boring and stuff like that, you might want to still give this one a try because it does move quicker.
Yeah.
And like we said, it's not as intricate
it's certainly easier to follow.
Yeah, definitely.
But man, this is the one to see. If not for the only reason that it's Hoffman's final independent role, call it, I guess. Because he's got the Hunger Games.
Yeah, he'll be in the Hunger Games, but this is his last.
That's not
lead
really
performance.
That's not his vehicle.
Yeah, this is his last lead performance. Yeah. And it's a good one. It's really
I hope he gets nominated for this. I mean, hell, I'm not saying it's too early to say I hope he wins for it, but he deserves a nomination.
He may get nominated, but he's not going to win.
It wouldn't win. Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think he's actually sad to say he's probably got a better chance, given that it would be a posthumous nomination and be kind of heartfelt. But you know how the freaking Academy goes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, Most Wanted Man. That's one to see. That's an A movie all the way.
Yeah, definitely check out A Most Wanted Man. It's really good.
But who was the most wanted man? Damn it!
Carpo.
No, he was. He's the most wanted man. Anyway, Next up
is a movie that Dirty A really wanted to see.
That is.
And I was not so sure. And it turns out I was right.
Whatever.
We're talking about Zach Braff's latest pretentious movie, Wish I Was Here. It's a movie that's not completely terrible, but as my friend told me last night, that's not a very glowing review, Doug. And I was like, no, it's not.
No, there are glimpses here into a movie that would have been really good.
Yeah, the problem, and you summed it up best after we saw it last night, was that it's very, very heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Everything is spelled out for you, and
multiple times.
Yeah, there's no subtlety to this movie at all. The world that Braff creates, he's the writer and director. This is the movie that he put on Kickstarter.
Right.
I didn't see my production.
No.
I didn't see my production company placard in front of it. Huh. I also didn't give money to this movie, so that might be why. But this is the one he put on Kickstarter that raised a big ruckus that people were like, "What the fuck, man? You're Zach Braff.
You're Zach Braff.
What the fuck?
Find your own goddamn capital."
Until the potato salad guy took the rage.
That kid is a genius.
Whatever. So
look, man, if I was that kid and I could get $60,000 from potato salad, kid's a genius.
Once again, Braff is playing this.
So this is his second.
This is his second feature directorial movie, and it basically could have been a sequel to Garden State. He is playing essentially the same character, an actor who doesn't know what he's doing with his life. Unfortunately, this actor happens to be married to hot Kate Hudson, and he has 2 kids. The whole movie is basically Zach Braff saying, "Why can't I still have my dream?
I want my dream.
Why can't I still have my dream?" It's because you have 2 children, asshole.
Right. So Kate Hudson's character, the wife, she's providing for the family
in a dead end job that she doesn't.
Which somehow he doesn't know she doesn't like.
He's oblivious.
Yeah. So that being said, the characters are actually kind of believable to me. Like I believe the scenario happens out there. It's just the heavy-handedness of this movie. You got Mandy Patinkin playing Braff's father,
right?
And you have he's a great film and stage actor, and he could sell anything he wanted to, but every time he's on screen, it's the same dialogue.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be acting. You need to take care of your family. Hey, did I mention you need to take care of your family? Every single time, the man's dying.
Yeah.
So they could have given him a lot more to work with. He could have been a lot more subtle in the delivery of this message that he's trying to portray. They basically try to. It's because they want him so likable on screen that they have to give a reason to why his kids kind of did not like him in the past. So they just have him being contrarian to the dreams of his children, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. See, I didn't find the characters realistic at all. I found them to be one-note characters who, especially, and in some cases, completely over the top. Like the guy that was at Kate Hudson's job and the boss.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
right.
she works for the water company. She's being sexually harassed at work. And basically, that's, except for the one scene she has, the one great scene she has with Mandy Patinkin in the hospital. That's all she says. Right, that's all she says. I'm being harassed. He's being inappropriate. He's being inappropriate. He's being inappropriate. She must have said it 50 times.
Well, my favorite is, like, she's the provider for the family, and she obviously they obviously all love each other. It's not like,
right.
But every time they're like, the kids are out playing with their dad.
Yeah.
She's just kind of in the background smiling, like, there they are playing.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of, maybe I should join them. Like, for no reason.
Yeah.
She's just smiling in the window.
It's just stupid. What happens is she works for the water company, and that's a government agency. So if she was being sexually harassed, she goes to her boss, and her boss kind of blows it off. Yeah, that might happen in some corporation, not in a government job.
In the government, that's going to be, regardless of how baseless the accusation is,
they would do an investigation.
Paperwork to investigate that.
Yeah, immediately.
Immediate. And his literal response is, you need to
lighten up. I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, even down to Donald Faison shows up in a very bit part as a car salesman, and he says to Zach Braff, "Oh, you're not taking this Aston Martin from dead stop to full speed." And he goes, "Okay," and then he does it. And then they're driving down the coast,
smiling,
and the car salesman isn't going, "You got to turn this car around right now." He's just going, "Ooh, let me get in this groove." It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I meant, when I say the characters are believable, I meant the core characters. You're
well,
right.
No,
I believe that this family unit could exist like this.
Even then, you even said it last night about the two kids. Like, the two kids seem like they were, like, reversed.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The girl is the older. Joey King plays the girl. She's very naive.
I think, I call it middle school, junior high age, maybe?
She's middle school. She's going in 7th grade.
Yeah, going into 7th grade. He's 6
The little boy's 6, yeah.
Okay. Somehow, he knows how to swim. She doesn't.
How does that happen?
I don't know. She knows nothing about death, apparently.
Yeah.
But she asked the most rudimentary questions about death.
And she's very religious in their Jewish school they go to.
But you brought up a good point as to why that was, which I was like, that is exactly right. That was Zach Braff's, you said, commentary on religion.
Yeah, I think so.
She was. Yeah. They went to school at a super Jewish school. I don't know what you call it.
I wouldn't say they're Orthodox.
But very. I don't know, or maybe it wasn't Orthodox school.
Well, no, I guess so, because she was very. She was very.
So she took religion very seriously. Zach Braff's character, not so much. So Mandy Patinkin, Zach Braff's father, was very religious.
Right.
Braff and his brother actually kind of veered away from that.
His brother was played by Josh Gad.
Right. Zach Braff's daughter, for whatever reason, probably because she was going to school at this Jewish school, she took to the religion and she ate it all up, and she was very religious. The 6-year-old, not so much again.
Right.
And so I think that was Braff's commentary on kind of religion stunting one's intelligence.
I guess.
The growth of intelligence.
Or he's trying to say women are stupid.
Well, maybe. One or the other. In any case, yeah.
Fuck you, Zach Braff.
Unfortunately, this movie just falls way short of being a good movie.
I mean, again, like you said about it being his commentary on religion, it's still very, very heavy-handed. Very,
way in your face.
Yeah, it's there. Zero subtlety in this movie whatsoever. And I said to you after we saw it, this movie might have been better if Zach Braff wasn't the main character. Like, if he had gotten somebody else to play this guy and he just wrote and directed it might have worked a lot better. Yeah. I just didn't buy the whole. I didn't buy the family unit. If you're living like that, where you've got two people who are living together and one is following their dreams and the other person's making the money, I can buy that when you're just together by yourselves. I can totally buy that. But once you bring kids into it, it's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
And it's like, you have to, you gotta support your kids. Yeah. You got to support the family, and it's
and she clearly they had money in that. Up until that point, the father had been giving the money. She was apparently. It's odd because I guess she was in call it a decent job.
I guess. I didn't think they were making good money at all.
Here's the other thing about that whole relationship. In one scene, she is talking about being supportive, and then you can tell she's unhappy. It's referenced quite a number of times how unhappy she is.
Right.
Then they have a scene with just the two of them where she's having a deep conversation with her husband, saying, "You gotta let go of your dreams. You gotta take care of us. We need, I'm not happy in my job, and I need some support here."
Right.
And then within a 10-minute scene, she is
defending
him in his and his acting goal to Patinkin's character as his dad. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Again, there are elements here that are good. There is a story here that could have been told in a really good way.
It's a very very mediocre movie.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any qualms. I knew that going into this, it'd be a pretty pretentious movie, Zach Braff.
Yeah.
I can, you better know that going into a Zach Braff movie.
Yeah.
But.
And I like Garden State.
Yeah, Garden State. Yeah,
Garden State's
awesome.
Garden State.
Yeah, but this one just is. We wish we weren't there.
Yeah, we wish we hadn't gone there.
Yeah.
And Ashley Greene is in it for like 5 seconds, and that's a waste of her because she's a hottie.
Yeah, Gad's good.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's
okay.
Good little comedy relief there.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, this again is one of those cable. Check it out if you want to.
I guess.
But there's no reason.
Just go watch Garden State.
No reason to go to the theater for this one, unfortunately. No. And it's hard for me to say that because I wanted to like this movie.
Yeah, I know you did. You were wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
I see them all. What can I say? Except for this next one. Schedules got messed up a little bit or whatever, and I saw a movie that Dirty A did not attend for once.
I had to go to the Beck concert, which was awesome. There'll be a story about that on the blog.
It was where it's at.
It was where it's at. Oh. So that's where it'll be.
That's where.
So while I was at the Beck show, Dirty A went to go see another film on a free screening.
Yeah, so we'll do quick little
reviews, quick blurbs here.
All right.
The movie that I saw dethroned Earth to Echo as the worst movie of the summer. Because the movie that I saw is quite possibly the worst movie I've seen this year.
Wow.
And wasn't I, Frankenstein this year too?
Yes, January.
Yeah, that's right. It's worse than I, Frankenstein. Because at least I laughed at I, Frankenstein.
Wow.
The movie I'm talking about stars Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel, and it is called Sex Tape. And it is a piece of shit.
Man, I mean, I didn't think it would be great, but wow.
This movie was so unfunny. It blew my mind. Because Jason Segel actually had a hand in writing the screenplay. And I like his stuff for the most part. It just was an unfunny mess. It was directed by Jake Kasdan, who's Lawrence Kasdan's kid. He's done some good stuff. He did Orange County. He did some other flicks. I forget off the top of my head. But he did some other stuff that was good. He did Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz. I didn't see that.
It was okay.
I didn't see that one.
Okay.
But it was also, that's where they got all this together. He also did Walk Hard, Jake Kasdan, which was a great movie.
Love
Walk Hard.
The Dewey Cox story.
The Dewey Cox story. It doesn't taste like Cox unless I say it tastes like Cox. Sex Tape was just completely unbelievable, this movie. And I know it's a comedy, but it's like I've said in the past. There are comedies like Anchorman, which are so absurd that you can buy anything. And then there's comedies that are supposed to be kind of anchored in a kind of reality.
Sure.
This is one of those, and it makes no sense. The whole point, if you've seen the trailer, they do a sex tape to try and rev up their sex lives. They're married, they have kids. They used to have sex all the time, then they had kids, and now their sex life is not as blah. And they make a sex tape to try and rev it up. And it gets, quote unquote, sucked into the cloud and sent to all their friends because Jason Segel gave all these old iPads to people. And apparently,
old iPads does the guy?
He works in the music industry. Forget it.
Fair enough.
The tape gets out because that's how the cloud works. Everything you put on the iPad goes into the cloud. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
So it takes the central premise and it doesn't even understand it. So then that completely blows up the movie. it seemed like to me that Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz were in two different movies. They gave them it's like they went to the set and they gave them two different scripts and they said, "Here you go." It was an unfunny mess.
Man,
our friend Hillary was with us. She and I wanted to leave like multiple times. Like we were ready to walk out multiple times.
I mean, just the fact that Segel had a hand in writing this—that's what surprises me.
Yeah,
yes, he's funny guy.
Rob Lowe is in it. He basically is playing his character from Wayne's World just 20 years later, more boring. It's just an ungodly mess. The only sparks of light for me, Rob Corddry's in it. He has some funny moments, but he's barely even in it. And Kumail Nanjiani is in it, and he's in one scene and he's hilarious. But other than that, it's not that good. Do not go see Sex Tape. I gave this, when I reviewed this on the Hodgepodge podcast website, I gave it an F. And I can remember the last movie I gave an F to. It was that bad.
Wow.
Some friends of ours we've been with, they were a little bit more forgiving about it, but it was god awful.
That is too bad. But yeah, because of your review, I'm gonna stay away from it and wait till it hits premium cable and check it out then, I guess.
Do not go see it.
That's too bad.
Premium cable. Don't even see it then.
Put it on me. I got late nights doing nothing. So, is anything else you want to add to Sex Tape, or is that
no?
Much,
don't go see it.
Break that tape. All right. Well,
you'll wish you'd seen the tape from The Ring instead.
I did not. The movie I saw was not much better. However, the sole reason I went and saw it because it was a free screening.
There you go. So you win.
So yeah, I win on this one.
Well, actually, I did use my free movie ticket from Regal, so I technically didn't pay anything for it.
We know how I feel about that. Either way, you're spending money at some point. It's coming out of your wallet at some point.
Not really.
It makes sense. It makes sense if you think about it.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, yeah, so I saw Into the Storm.
Twister 2.
Twister 2. Electric Boogaloo. Even twistier. It is exactly what I thought it would be, and even worse. Because I did not realize at the time, going into it, that the whole movie was shot in the old, found footage type of gag, where it's not found footage, but it's as they're filming, you see what they see, and it doesn't work for a movie like this. The whole shaky cam experience and holding cameras at different angles. So Into the Storm, what would you think the plot would be? There's absolutely, the plot is a storm comes.
Right.
So, okay, the plot is you have these storm chasers that are making a documentary. Mm-hmm. And so they are tracking storm systems in the Midwest. The lead here is Matt Walsh, who's claiming fame like Veep these days.
He's the lead in this movie?
Yeah, he's the storm chaser. I consider him the main guy here.
It's not the guy, the principal guy. It's not him.
No, he's. I guess he's in it just as much, but he's.
Because the trailer kind of sold him as
right. Richard Armitage.
Oh, that's right. That's who that is.
Yeah, and he plays a principal and the dad of two boys who go to the high school with him.
Right.
And then Sarah Wayne Callies plays a part of the storm tracker team with Matt Walsh. She's like the science one.
She's the mother who can't keep track of her kid.
Yeah, no,
that's the other.
Yeah, that's the. She is the science of the storm tracking. So
Coral.
She tells them where to go. That's right. She played.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, played. I don't even remember her name
anymore. Lori. God damn.
Lori in The Walking Dead. But
Coral.
What are you doing, Coral? Anyway, I'd rather do that for 5 more minutes to talk about this movie. But
where was Helen Hunt? Where was Bill Paxton?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I looked
where was Philip Seymour Hoffman?
I looked at my friends 30 minutes in when Matt Walsh is doing some, soliloquy. I'm like, Bill Paxton, he is not.
Sorry, Matt Walsh.
Yeah. So, but no. That's the crux of the movie. There, you have these two worlds coming together. You've got a dad looking for his lost kid out in the storm.
Day after tomorrow.
meeting up with the storm tracking group, Matt Walsh's storm tracking group, who has tracked the storm system into their town. It eventually becomes like this super storm system that no one's ever seen the likes of before.
Sharknado.
Yeah, where it starts out with one tornado, and then there's 2 funnel clouds, and then there's 3 funnel clouds, and then they all converge into this mecha funnel cloud instead of. Because guess what? When storms converge like that, they don't break apart, apparently. They combine into one gigantic mecha cloud.
Can I tell you why this movie was great?
Please do.
Because those 3 tornadoes are the same tornadoes that Storm unleashed on the planes in X-Men 2.
Anyway. So
it's all connected.
That's the whole idea of this movie. They're tracking the storm, and once they're into the storm, if you will, they're trying to save people. Whereas Matt Walsh this whole time is trying to film his documentary that he hopes will, get him credit claim in the meteorological community and make him money.
So is he more Bill Paxton, or is he more Carrie Elways from Twister?
He is more Carrie Elways.
Okay, so he's the asshole.
He's kind of the asshole. Okay. Yeah. He turns at the end. He's got the twist of character, right, where he's going to help people. But the whole time, his goal he's goal focused here of tracking the storm and making the documentary to get the money. And, he's got a few people with him. He's created and patented this vehicle called the Titus, which is like this super tank that can ground itself into position and sustain upwards of 170 mile per hour winds. Don't ask me how that really works, because
does he have a basket? Does he have a tank full of sensors called Dorothy and Dorothy 2 in the back?
But they're made out of Coke cans instead of Pepsi cans.
Are you fucking serious?
No.
Okay.
No. You should see the look on Doug's face. He believed me. It was great. It was great. Yeah. So anyway,
I wouldn't put it past
there's
this
nothing else to talk about in this movie. That's what it's about. It's about, you go see Twister again, the storms, right? They are the star of the film.
We lived through Twister.
There's only one cool part in this movie, and that is when one of the tornadoes actually catches on fire all the way up, and I have coined that the Infernado. Thank you. And then a guy gets sucked into it, and you see him burning alive in the. Brilliant! It's brilliant. But yeah,
it was Firestar all along, and Spider-Man and his amazing friends were visiting the X-Men.
And then the other great part of this movie is at the end. Matt Walsh. I don't spoilers of this fucking movie. Who cares? You see a vehicle go up into the sky with the person in it, mind you. And all of a sudden, he's gone above. He's gone above he's gotten sucked into the tornado and gone above the storm, literally like say 20,000 feet into the air.
Like in the Matrix.
Yeah, and he's like looking into the sky, going, oh, before he drops to his impending death. But yeah, the movie is ridiculous. It would have been slightly more enjoyable, at least if it hadn't have been in the found footage style. That's unnecessary. I don't know why they keep doing that these days. Same thing with Earth to Echo, right? But yeah, there's no substance here in this movie. There's no reason to catch this. You've seen it in Twister.
Yeah, we lived it.
This is Super Twister
at Universal Studios in Orlando.
They're like, wait, we've seen a movie with one tornado.
What if
we make 3?
Just skip Twister 2 and just go straight to Twister 3.
So yeah, there's no standout performance here. Matt Walsh is kind of funny. He's good. But
rather watch him on Veep.
It's exactly, absolutely.
Coral.
But again, there's no reason to fault any actors here. It's just
it's
a mess.
It's a cheap piece of shit movie. I mean, you can tell it from the trailer. Yeah. Although I was seeing one movie. I think it was when I went to go see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes again. And they showed that trailer, and these people were sitting behind me, and they showed Into the Storm, and they're like, "Oh!" I'm like, "Seriously, really?
You haven't seen?
You never seen Twister before?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
There's nothing you haven't seen.
I feel sorry for you. Right. It's well, that sounds like a big fat piece of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think
so. Basically,
the movie this week, was A Most Wanted Man.
That's to wrap it up. The movie you need to go see is A Most Wanted Man, and then go see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and go see Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
than Snowpiercer. We had a friend who went to go see Snowpiercer, and she was not impressed, and I was like, you're insane. But then she also said, I'm not a big Chris Evans fan. Then why the fuck are you going to see Snowpiercer? I don't want to see... I hate Harrison Ford. I don't understand why I don't like the Indiana Jones movies.
The thing is, with Snowpiercer, with the story and the way the characters are, I got lost enough that I wasn't even thinking Chris Evans. You know, I was
like, where's his shield?
Well, no, I did say that a couple of times, but I mean, I wasn't flat out thinking.
No, yeah. But I mean, but the thing is, if you don't like, that's what we talked about. Why a lot of people probably didn't go see Edge of Tomorrow, because a lot of people were turned off by Tom Cruise now, and they don't go see it. But it's a great movie. But guess
what? Yes,
it's fantastic
to see. You should check it out.
So that'll do it for episode 44 of the Hodgepodge podcast. On our next episode, dun 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 dun, I think. It all depends on...
Do we have the budget to make another episode?
Yes, we do.
Kickstarter, thanks.
Yes, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Kickstarter. Hey, there's an idea. Hey!
Right. Start that up just before the 50 Shades of Grey opening.
Oh, God. Saw the trailer for that today. Awful. So, on our next episode, I believe, it depends if we can get our guest in here. His schedule is very loaded, and he's very bourgeois. We're going to try and get Matt King in here, because next week is the big one, Guardians of the Galaxy. It is getting fantastic reviews from early screenings. Some people saying it's the best Marvel movie they've ever seen.
I can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I've shut myself down. I saw a trailer or quasi-trailer today for it. But I've for the past 3 weeks, I've just tried to tune myself out of anything Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. I inadvertently saw a damn big spoiler the other week. It pissed me off something fierce because I wasn't even, it's just one of those where I pull up the freaking browser and there it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it. But yeah, that's the one to see. I can't. Next week, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
we're there.
Yeah, we're going to see it in 3D IMAX because we've heard the 3D is good. So
you know us. We're not big 3D people. We're gonna check it out.
So we're gonna go see it in 3D IMAX, and we will let you know how it is. And we're gonna try and have Matt King here, but I know he's got family vacations and all that crap going on. So we will see you next time, folks.
I have this crazy idea.